Well, hi everybody. How you doing out there? I'm glad to be back. Today's election day. I'm happy tonight too. We've made some little bit of progress this primary. Um, I had a wonderful time in Hawaii. Um, I was in Maui exactly 40 years ago. I was in there in 1982, and here it is, 2022. And we even stayed at a hotel that was only two down from where we stayed at the Westin. And when we went the first time, I don't remember the name of it. But anyway, so we were in the same place almost in Maui that we were the first time I went to Hawaii. And I just could not believe how much different Hawaii looked sober. There was five of us women that went last time, and that was about I don't remember how long we stayed there. I know me and my daughter stayed an extra 2 days. But anyway, it was just one big party. So, and it was fun. And we were young, and we went out dancing every night and had a ball. And now I did good to get out to the car. My daughter took me to some wonderful dinners, and it was so nice to get that time to spend with her. She's so giving and so kind, and she was so helpful. So, so anyway, and it did make me realize that I've really got to start working out or something because I got to get my legs stronger because the whole family wants to go to Boston for Christmas, and I just want to be able to get around better. So I'm going to have to start seeing what I can do to strengthen my legs. So, how about those primaries today? There was some pretty good stuff, wasn't there? Some pretty good stuff. The main place that we need to take control back over is Pennsylvania. And if they don't cheat, if they let us get through the primaries without cheating us out of the wins that we made there today, we got a chance to do it. I just got a sneak. Charles Booker. Charles Booker won. He's going to go up against Ron Paul. And I was proud because he did get some backing from the Democratic Party. Not a whole lot, but he got some. And so he's going to be going up against Ron Paul. Wouldn't that be wonderful to see him knock him out of there? And if the Democratic Party all backs him and puts their money behind him, he could get knocked out of there. That's what they do because he's a progressive, and they usually won't back progressives at all. But there was nobody else winning in the race, so they had to throw some money at him because unless they wanted to lose our government totally, although I don't even know if they're tuned in enough to know what's going on. And then this is it another Senate seat it was at Fetterman in Pennsylvania. And like I said, and then right before I turned off what I was watching this on earlier, Summer Lee wins, where was that at? Was that in Pennsylvania too? Anyway, she's a hardcore progressive running under a progressive deal that didn't hardly get any help, but she got a lot of leg help. She got a lot of people backing her, a lot of people behind her. And she's only 400 ahead or something like that, so they'll recount that and try to steal that from her. Also, she's black, so they'll probably try to steal it from her. But I don't think they're going to be able to. I hope somebody's watching somebody in that place. So it's going to be interesting. At least we got some things to fight for in the midterms. And so, anyway, I've had so much time to think I got totally away from politics when I was I turned my YouTube on sometimes when my daughter would would go swimming every morning. She went out snorkeling every morning in the ocean, and then she walked 5 miles, and then she swam and got in the jacuzzi, so I got a little bit of time by myself. I went swimming and got in the jacuzzi a couple of times, but not every day like her. She's a real exerciser, my daughter is. That's why she's got strong legs. Well, she hasn't had 3 knee replacements and a rod put in her leg either. That's harder to recoup at my age after something like that. So anyway, I hope you're all doing good out there, and I hope you're all feeling better, and that God, do we need to pray for those poor people? I just can't believe that everybody at Fox News just doubled down and came out with their replacement shit all day today on there too. I'll tell you that there's, like I said, I don't believe in a hellfire or damnation. I do think we have to look back over our lives. That's the hardest part, is us seeing what we did to others. But I hope that whatever, that there's some kind of come up in somewhere for these people that are pushing all this hate. And what did they think we did to the Indians? What's what history does. History changes nations. It changes. Things change. And if it wasn't changing, the only way to stop change is for us to blow the whole planet up. And I guess maybe that's what they're trying to do. Who in the hell knows? And I live close to the border, and I've talked about it several times to you guys. And most of the people that I talk to some are from the Philippines, because there's a lot of Filipino people here in San Diego, and some Hispanic. And of course, I knew a bunch of Hispanic people in the valley. But most people that come over here as immigrants, they don't even vote till maybe second or third generation. I talked to more people since I've lived there's 100 older people in here where I live. And about most of the people that were immigrants at one time, they still don't even vote here. So that's another thing that's a bunch of malarkey. And I'm going to start saying malarkey instead of BS, I think. Or whatever. It's all BS. Is to this replacement theory stuff, because of at the ballot boxes. They don't need to bring immigrants in to have that power switch. It's going to switch within the next 15 years, because people that were born here in the United States, that are United States citizens, as they grow up and have babies and stuff, we're going to start, even in, the white people are going to be as minority like everybody else. So it's just they just don't want to give it up. They don't care how much they have to lie, how many people they have to get shot. They don't care what they're doing, as long as they are keeping that power. Well, they're not going to be able to. So this is like their dying breath. But at the same time, if we don't do something, we won't have a country to try to. If we don't keep some democracy going, then they will win. So we have to get the right people in, and the way we're going to do that, we're going to have to vote. And we're going to have to pay attention who we're voting for, and we're all going to have to vote Democratic. So anyway, I just got a couple of questions here. I was trying to write some stuff down the last couple of days, and that's something too. If you guys give me any, if my subscribers would like to do a thumbs up, that would be good for a little help. If you haven't pushed subscribe for a while, look at it and make sure you're subscribed. I really love doing this, and it may not show because it's kind of late at night, but I'm really happy that I got to, that these people won today. These 3 people are all 3 uh, progressives, and that's what we need, people that are getting in there without a bunch of corporate money behind them, because then they just go in and do what they're told anyway, but they won't have to if they have the corporate money behind them. And I think it was the Fetterman that they interviewed today that said that he wasn't going to let that, if he got in there, that he was going to go with, you know, not let them take over his agenda for what needed to be done in there, and that would be nice. So, so I've had a couple of questions that I read when I read on my replies, and I'd like for so I'll see if I can get the cards. And one of them is well, Elon Musk. Is he really going to purchase Twitter? Because it looks like he's trying to get out of it to me. Looks like he's trying to figure out a way out of it. So let's see. Elon Musk, are you going to buy Twitter? Are you going to buy Twitter? Or are you going to back out of this deal? It'd be cheaper for him, even if it cost him a couple $100,000 to get his lawyers to go in there. And he's saying today he was using the excuse that that they told him that there was only a certain amount of bots in there, but he knows that there's 5 times that much or something. So that way they were over asking on the price or something. He was kind of mentioning that he was going to get the price down. Well, they're not going to go down on their price, not right now. So anyway, let's see. Is Elon Musk going to buy Twitter? Or is he going to back out and get his lawyers to come in and get this deal? And he's got a pretty good case, too, because there are so many bots on Twitter. And by the way, did any of the rest of you see, right before I went to Hawaii, which would make it about 10 days ago now, or 11 or 12, Anna Kasparian went viral on Twitter. And it was wonderful. She's so good anyway. She talked about somebody that calls an ace and a spade a spade. That was my favorite thing I ever watched. And if you didn't get a chance to watch it, I think David Doyle's got the whole thing almost on his, if you guys follow him, and then you've got Jill's at the bottom, you can go down there and it'll say Anna Kasparian going viral on Twitter. It was like about 2 days after that abortion leak came out, and I wish I could say things. She's so smart. Wish I could say things like she says them. I think she's absolutely wonderful. She my hero. She my hero. If I'm ever born, or if I come back as a woman and anything's even close to politics, I hope that I have her, or anything. I hope I have her brain. Or not her brain, but I hope I'm as smart as her, can hold on to detail like her, as interested in preserving government as she is. And it would sure be nice to be that beautiful. So anyway, is Elon Musk going to buy Twitter? Well, he started out thinking he really wanted it, but I don't think everybody talks about what a businessman he is, but is he really? Did he even investigate? Did he even go in and check how many bots are in there or anything? I think that he just likes to have the attention. He likes this bully pulpit. He likes to get the attention. He likes to get everybody watching him, and he likes to stir attention for people to pay attention. So that's him there. So he thought it would get him a lot more attention and maybe admiration. It also got a lot of attention that he wasn't expecting. You know, when I picked this card up and got to thinking of it, I got an angle on this that I hadn't thought of before. a lot of people that I know, and they aren't into like progressive, further to the left politics like I am, but they're liberals, and they're what they think is the middle. They didn't realize how right our middles went in the last 20 years. But a lot of them buy his cars, his Teslas and stuff. And I'm thinking maybe some of the things that he said politically might already be hurting his business a little bit. Because this is something negative coming through that he didn't consider that would be attached to him buying Twitter. So I'm back. So yeah, this caused some complications for him. I didn't realize this was going to come in that deep, but I've had that written down for a while. I've been thinking about it off and on today. He thought it would give him more power, and for some reason there was less power coming across and some loss of income, maybe just to do with public opinion, but there was more diversity or something going on there that hurt him. So the reason, well, I can't explain to you why, but anyway, that's what card doesn't always mean that, but that there was just more energy coming toward him, but was coming from the left, so it was just not good energy. And this looks like a court case. So it looks to me like this is the foundation that he's going to get out of this. And if he decides to get out of it, he'll get out of it. He really didn't stop to study this before he jumped into it. He just thought it would bring him more fame, so he wanted to jump in there. He just assumed, that it would all be positive, and it just wasn't coming. It wasn't what he expected. And of course, he was overpaying for the company anyway. So, he's got all of his lawyers going back to the drawing board to see how he can get out of this. Because he didn't do his due diligence before he done this. It just was kind of a whim, and then he said it, and then he decided to do it. I mean, it was just, he didn't even have him check the price to see what Twitter was worth, because he was overpaid by half or something for most people that checked it out. So yeah, so this is his lawyers right here. These two cards always go together, going back to the drawing board to see what he has to do to get out of this. It looks like he's getting out of it. Yeah, this is him taking his power back. He also felt, I don't know if it was the people he was dealing with or how it was coming together or what, but he felt like he had lost power, and this is him taking power back. So there will be some changes pretty quick. We're going to be hearing about this pretty quick. Yeah, he don't want to pay that much money. This is the seventh house. He don't want to pay that much money. He knows that he overbid on it. And the energy around this is the whole world's watching. So he's got to come up with a legitimate excuse why not to buy it, instead of that he overpaid for it to start with. So he's saying that the reason is it wasn't supposed to have more than, I don't remember how many thousands or millions of bots. I keep hearing a 10. And it had about 2 or 3 times that much. So he said it was overpriced because of the bots. Okay. We're going to be hearing news about this. In the next couple of days, there'll be a lot more coming out about this. And this is really close to the Eight of Wands, too. I think it just gave him some publicity he didn't need to deal with right at this time in his life. So it's going to end up costing him a little bit of money, which is a lot of money to it's not going to be cheap to get out of it, but it's really going to be cheaper to get out of it than to go ahead with it. He'll just put his lawyers on it and write it off as a business loss. So he already's got his mind going off somewhere else. He's already really interested in somebody. That's another thing. He didn't want to mess with it. After he got it going through and found out he got a little bit of negative publicity and got a little bit of positive too, but he just didn't think it was worth. It was like it was beneath him. So I say yeah, he's not going to buy it by looking at these cards. He thought it was going to give him more power, but it did start cutting down on some of his sales, and people reserve those cards ahead of time. This is the law coming into it. Might take just a little while for his lawyers to figure out how to cancel the deal, but he will cancel it and get his power back. Save a lot of money. The world will be talking about it a little bit, so he'll still get some more energy out of this as far as everybody knowing who he is and what he does. Everybody's going to be hearing about this before too long, and he's going to get most of his money back that he deposited even before he's through, because he's already interested in other things. So that's what the cards say. So let me see what else is going on here. I didn't have too much wrote down. I might have some stuff I wrote down from a couple of weeks ago that hasn't changed. I thought I heard something in the background today when I was busy doing some readings for people and stuff about Merrick Garland wanting some information from the January 6th people. But then they had that, is it Thomas? Danny Thomas? Or I don't remember who it is that's leading that deal in the House. And he said that they haven't asked him for anything. So I don't know. It sounded the day that I think they had a deal of Merrick Garland saying he was going to request this stuff or had requested it. So I don't know. Maybe the papers are passing back and forth. And my friend Mark Rhodes sent me this. I thought it was really cute. I'm going to put it in my window. It's Ukrainian bear. Finch, one of the artists that he, it's cute, isn't it? A little blue and yellow. One of the artists he backs does these honey bears. They're in San Francisco, and he did these for charity, and all the money's going to charity. So that was sweet of him to send that to me. And in case you'd like one to put in your window, I think it's at finch.com. It's going to leave the Dylan. I got it in the other room. I'm pretty sure that's... let me see if this has got a name on the front of it. So I'm not good at this kind of stuff. I thought it had it on here, but I don't see the name on here. It's on the little bitty ones he gave me that's in on the refrigerator, and I'm not going to get up again right now, but it's finch.com. I think it's FINNCH or something like that's how it's spelled. He's an artist from San Francisco. So, and Mark Rhodes is one of his promoters. Yeah, I think his only promoter. I don't know, but anyway, he sent those to me, and I want to thank him for sending that to me. Let's see what else I've got to read on here. Is the grand jury, I think they're investigating these documents taken to Mar-a-Lago. Is there going to be some arrests made over that? How are they going to go with that? So let's see they haven't probably even started it yet. But this is as far as I know, like I said, I haven't watched any news for about 2 weeks now, is they have some, they've assembled a grand jury to go over these documents or getting these documents, or to see which documents that, especially the ones that were supposed to be top secret, that Donald Trump took to Mar-a-Lago with him. They're wanting all that stuff, and they're having a grand jury look at the evidence from it. So is something going to come of that? Let's see. Let's see if there's something going to come of the grand jury investigating what went to Mar-a-Lago. That's the best way to put that. I have to cut out all that bullshit I've been talking in circles about. Are they going to, when the grand jury sees the evidence on what got taken to Mar-a-Lago, will there be is there going to be a action taken? A court action, whatever. Well, he thought he could get away with it totally. Thought anything he chooses to do, he can just turn it on or turn it off. Here it is, dazzle him, but he can't dazzle him with brilliance, so he'll baffle him with bullshit. So he wasn't worried about it. But here's the law coming in. Just the small guns to start with. Maybe assembling the grand jury and setting stuff up and getting their evidence together. But there's a lot more going on there. I'm surprised to see this. There's a lot more going on here than we thought there was. I'm thinking it may have been some other stuff from the White House, too, that he took, not just documents. No telling what he took to Mar-a-Lago with him. They're going to offer him something, or he's going to offer them something. This is an offer being made over this. Could be between the lawyers, his lawyers, and the ones investigating this, or something. There's some kind of deal being offered. Looks like he's blaming it on his children. Before this is all over, he's going to say, he's going to say he didn't even know that stuff was there, that his kids packed it, or his kids' advisors or whoever was working in his kid's office packed. Some way he's going to put this back on his family, that he didn't even know this stuff got taken to Mar-a-Lago. That's where the blame's going. He's going to try to blame it on that. He's going to tell a different story every other day about it when they bring him in for questioning. And then he thinks he's just going to walk away from it. So this is bothering him a little. He's already thinking about what he's going to do. When they go to check this out or figure out what he took or what he didn't take, they're going to have to really pay attention, because there's some stuff that he's got hidden deep. Don't know what that is, but maybe some classified information or something. But he's got some stuff tucked away really deep that he's hanging on to. But I don't think he's going to be able to keep it a secret. It's going to come out. So when he took it, he wasn't worried at all, because he figured all he's got to do is confuse people. And he's so used to robbing somebody every day, why not the United States government and whatever. This is them bringing in the investigators. This is a whole lot more. They find more than they thought he had there. This is some kind of offer being made one way or the other. This is him blaming it on his children. This is him trying to confuse people, and this is him walking away. At least there's no arrest card here. So this is the bully walking away. Maybe he just says, you got me and you got it all back. Who knows? It doesn't look like there's any jail time or anything to do with this. But if they look really hard, they might find more than they think's there. When they think they've got it all, they don't. They need to look harder. And I think the word's going to come out about that, and then we'll read on this again. Because I don't think this is going to be finished business as quick as he thinks it is. He thinks it's going to be finished right away. I'm sorry, I like to put these cards back in here in different spots, because then that makes them When they're shuffled then after that. Um, so we got that. Then we got Mark Esper. Will he be investigated? It looks like he hasn't been so far. Isn't he the one that wrote the book? God, I'm really confused tonight. I shouldn't have taken a week away from politics. We got Mark Esper, and it says, will he get investigated? So let's see. I'm not going to say any bad things about anything to do with the Democrats. I just want them to get in there and do this. And please don't forget to vote. After this stuff with taking birth control and abortion away from women's and everything else, there's no telling. We've got to vote. We've got to go out in droves and vote. We've got to get these assholes out of there, or either we've lost America. So, and be sure, even if you don't know who it is, if there's only one running and it's a Democrat, vote for the Democrat. Don't matter if they got 3 heads and 6 legs, vote for the Democrat. I'm just teasing about that because so many people put so much off on who somebody is and what they look like. So, Mark Esper, are you going to get investigated? Mark Esper, are you going to get investigated? Yes. He's going to get investigated, so we don't even need to draw another card and make a mess for those. So, yes, he is. And we've got, why did Meghan McCain only sell 250 books? She probably bought those, truth be known. And then play the victim. I don't know why I've got play victim here. Maybe somebody thought, whoever asked that question, thought she was playing the victim. She's always the victim. That's all she did the whole time she was on The View. So why did she only sell 250 books? Somebody asked that question. I could tell them why, but let's draw the cards and see if they have anything to say about it. Well, because they weren't very good books. She hasn't had much experience in life, and she's led such a sheltered life. I can't imagine anything that she could say in a book that I'd want to read or waste my money on. But we're all different. So why didn't she sell any more books? I'm just going to do 4 across for this. The past, she's never known what she was talking about. The present, she just thought everybody would jump up and buy this book. She never stopped to think about how inexperienced or anything she was. She just thought if she wrote a book that people would buy it. Everything else has always worked like that in her life, being born with a silver spoon in her mouth. This looks like somebody's making her an offer. Is this to do about these books? Are they going to buy a bunch of them and use them for firewood? Or I don't know. But this is some kind of offer. Maybe she got a good offer on writing it or something. That could have been why she wrote it to start with. That was a challenge. Somebody offered her a lot of money to write a book, or a really good down payment or something. That might have had something to do with it. And in the future, we got the money card. So maybe sometime 20 or 30 years from now, she'll write a book that'll be interesting. I can't imagine it, because first you got to grow up. But the future is a lot of money. Of course, she's got a lot of money. She didn't need the money anyway. I'm amazed she didn't she's one of those trust fund babies, and I guess her mom was super rich even when she married her dad, and look at all the money he made being in Congress all those years. So she could have probably bought a couple 100,000 of those books, but she didn't. That was a smart move not to. But anyway, it looks like maybe someday she'll make some money on something, or this is just all the money she's got. But I still think she just thought it was a good idea, not realizing she was too inexperienced to write a good book, an interesting book, or whatever. I couldn't hardly stand watching her for 2 seconds on The View. I couldn't imagine listening to what she had to say long enough to read a book, even though from what I understood, it was a pretty short book. Okay, this is a real petty question, but I guess it was something that got brought up on somewhere, or why would people know to think of this? It says, was Melania Trump upset because Jill Biden got the cover of Vogue, and she never got a cover like that when she was the first lady? So was Melania Trump upset because Jill Biden got the cover of Vogue? You know, I think Jill Biden's much more prettier than Melania Trump. I've always thought that. I never thought Melania Trump was pretty. I thought she looked like a statue or something. Anyway, that's just my opinion. But okay, was she upset about it? Might just take one card. Depends on what comes up first here. Got the King of Pentacles. She was making some judgments about it. Yeah, she was upset about it. This is the Foundation. It is the Five of Cups. But she tried to keep her mouth shut. She took the higher ground. She did have enough sense that it would make her look more like a winner if she didn't say too much about it. I don't know if she has or not. I don't know why that question was in there. But she was definitely upset about it. And something might be coming out. There might be a telltale or a friend or somebody that comments or something. There's going to be something where it's going to come out about her being upset about it. She just wants to keep a low profile. Here's her walking away from the whole situation. It wasn't her situation anyway, so she's got plenty of money put back. That's the energy around this. She didn't need it one way or the other. She is feeling pretty much like she's already in jail, and she's worried about people in the family and stuff going to jail. I shouldn't judge people. I feel like she's more worried about the money that's going to be involved. We'll see what comes out with the last card, than if she's got enough money put back to take care of her. But she's definitely thinking of moving overseas. She's already there in her head. She's gonna leave the country. So, yeah, she thought she should have got more attention when her husband was in charge of everything. That's what she felt about it. That's why we got the Judgment card. And yes, she was a little depressed about it. But she was going to keep her mouth shut about it and take higher ground and come out what she thought was more like a winner. But something might leak out about this because she was pissed about it. This is her going away. This is her looking back at money she's got stashed somewhere. And she feels like she's in jail. She feels like she needs to move to another country. And there's 3 different places that she's trying to figure out where she's going to move to. But if she there ain't no way they're ever going to put her in jail. So when this is all over, or it gets too hot, or it gets hot and then cools off, she's leaving the country. She's definitely moving on with her life, and probably doesn't include Trump. So there's an appraisal firm on this New York property. Oh, they've been subpoenaed, an appraisal firm that did the appraisals on Donald Trump's New York property, and so far they haven't turned anything over, and it says, well, they comply, and this is with Letitia James. So are they going to get the paperwork from the appraisal firm? That's the best I can think of how to ask the question. The hardest thing is figuring out how to ask these questions. And then that'll be all, because the last time I tried to put a reading up, it took 3 days, and I can't even stand watching, keep pushing the dill to get it up there. This might go up quicker if it's not too long and I knock a whole bunch of this out. All my jabbering. I hope you guys are doing better. This election today made me feel a little bit better. If everybody gets out and vote, I just hope that this Supreme Court ruling motivates people to get out and vote. They thought it was, whoever let it go was definitely a Republican, and they thought they'd lock, that way it would lock it in where they couldn't change their mind. But I think what's going to happen is it just gave the Democrats more time to get organized, and I hope the hell that they get some talking points that make sense, that everybody can understand, and start getting them out there and put them out every day, every day, every day. They need to, remember how much the Republicans just drove Benghazi into the sea? I mean, they never shut up about it. Well, that's what the Democrats need to do about all this stuff that's, I know there's so much, but they need to pick about 10 subjects and they need to throw it out there every day, every day, every day. The worst things they did. Like killing it. What? How many? Is it 100,000 that we just passed or something from COVID? And you know that those people, half of those people wouldn't be dead if it had been taken care of and treated to save the lives instead of to make more people rich. Anyway, so this is this New York appraisal firm gonna hand over the paperwork they're supposed to? I don't know why these should even be a question. It should just be something that has to be done, or they go to jail, or they shut down the firm, or that's another thing that I just don't understand. I thought our laws were working for years, but I guess they just haven't used any of them in years if you were rich. Well, they're going to have to turn them over. They may not want to, but they're going to have to turn them over. Otherwise, they're going to fold. There's no higher ground to take here. It looks like they haven't entirely made up their mind yet, so there must be some kind of decision going on how hard they're going to have people fight for it. Try to offer them, maybe not all of them, but yeah, justice is going to win out. So they are going to turn them over. This is going to bring the house down. It may be Letitia James that ends up being the one that gets him. Yeah, look at this. This is the house coming down. I think when this happens, when they turn those over to Letitia James, and if they hand them all the paperwork like they should, that may be when some people in the Trump family start making plans to leave the country. I think they may run. It wouldn't be a good idea. I think they might get stopped if they try to run. Look at this. This is the energy around them trying to take off. They might take their passports away or something, although they got their own planes. I don't know if you need that if you got your own planes. They're still trying to figure out what they're going to do and when they're going to do it. But either way, they're going to be out in the cold and have a lot less money than they've ever dealt with. Doesn't mean that they're going to be living in poverty. Wherever they live, they'll be in richness, but it's not going to be like where you just jet all over the world all the time. So, yeah. From looking at these cards, it looks like she might be the one that ends up taking him down. Because we got the Five of Cups. Got him thinking he can get out of there. Already trying to figure out what he's going to do if they do turn that stuff over. Maybe he'll try to make them an offer, but that's not going to work. Justice is coming through, and the house is coming down. he's already making his plans for where he's going overseas. That's funny. That goes with Melania's cards. And he's not going to be able to. We got the Ten of Swords. That's the worst card in the deck. But at this time, he's already mulling it over in his mind. That's the energy on this. That's the karmic card. And this is the outcome, which is living on about a pittance of the money he's used to living on. But he'll still have plenty. How much money do you need? He's as old as I am. How much money can you spend? And it's just stupid. It's like a game. It's like losing a game. What else could it be? I don't know. I have any idea what it feels like to have power through that kind of stuff. But anyway, I'm going to get off here, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. And I should have did this earlier this morning. I was all cheered up to do this, and then I did a reading for a friend, and whatever, somebody I read for quite often, and him and I got to talking, and we talked for hours, and then when I got through, I laid down and took a nap, and when I woke up, I'm not too perky while I was sleeping on and off watching the returns from the elections. So I hope you guys are doing good and go to bed smiling. We did get some wins today. Thank God we did get some wins, and we may get some more. I just hope that they don't poison the well because a lot of them were really close, and I figured if any of those were too close, what was that Glenn Kushner used to say, too big to still, and anyway, they weren't huge wins, so they're all going to have to be recounted, and let's hope that they don't pull up thousands of votes that all of a sudden come out from some place, whatever, to change these. So keep your fingers, say a little prayer about that tonight, but the rest of it looks really good. And it's time to start laughing again a little bit. Thank you guys so much. Good night now. Namaste.